Well, first of all, welcome to my humble abode, my garage. It's weird for me not to be at work. This is one of my first days on my newly announced leave of absence from being a steam fitter. I'm used to, fixing things all day at work, and for what I'm trying to do now, and which is fix Washington, D.C., which is broken, is not going to require these kind of tools, but a separate kind of tools. When I first started this campaign, no one really believed in me. A couple people did, and my dog John Bender, who's now our campaign mascot, has always believed in me. But now this campaign, it has momentum. We've raised over $1 million as of today. There's two polls that show us neck and neck with Senator Fisher. Like, I'm getting standing ovations at GOP county meetings, all the way from Columbus to North Platte, and here in Omaha. But people are coming out of the woodwork now. I have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, and independent politicians wanting to endorse my candidacy. But I'm here today to make an unprecedented announcement that I will not be accepting the endorsement of any politician in either party here in Nebraska, or in America for that matter. I want to be clear that I'm independent. I want to stay true to who I am, and that is an independent. I can't be charmed. I can't be schmoozed. I won't suck up to anyone, and most importantly, I cannot be bought. But people are tired of the country club politicians. Only 2% of all of Congress, the House and the Senate, come from the working class. There's nobody like me in the United States Senate. Deb Fisher has enriched herself while being in the United States Senate, and she is certainly part of the problem. But to the people of Nebraska, I want your endorsement, because ultimately I want to work for you. I don't want to work for any of your politicians. I want to work for the people of Nebraska. So whether you're Republican, Independent, Libertarian, marijuana now, I don't really care. I welcome all who want to join me to change what's broken in Washington, D.C. Probably no political campaign has ever done this before, but I don't want to put politicians and parties and profits over people. Thank you. I can open it up to a couple questions if you guys have questions. I know you do.
So if the Nebraska Democratic Party endorses you, you don't accept it, but it's still out there.
That would be true. That's a true statement. Yeah, but I won't be accepting any political parties or politicians' endorsements.
Right, but if the Democrats, you got beyond, you waited to make this announcement until the day after the primary when they couldn't get anybody on the ballot. So explain to me a little bit about how you can expect to garner trust from Democrats choosing to announce this now instead of earlier in the process when they might have made different decisions.
Well, I think I can't really speak to that, but it's what's going to change their mind is our message. Again, these political elected officials are bought and sold by special interests and corporations, and that's what needs to change. And I think being an independent uniquely positions me to be able to help change that.
What does it mean to go against an incumbent for you? Can you talk about that?
Well, we've known since the beginning of this, and I've known since the beginning of this is an uphill battle. And I look forward to the challenge. I always have. This is going to be another example of a David versus Goliath fight. And I'm up for the challenge. I welcome it.
How are you going to play with Republican voters as an independent?
Yeah, I'm just, when I go throughout Nebraska and I talk to people, I talk to voters, I talk to the real people in the VFWs and coffee shops. I talk to everybody the same, whether I'm talking to Democrats or whether I'm talking to Republicans. My message is always the same. And that's, until we can get people in office that aren't beholden to monopolistic multinational corporations, then nothing's going to change.
What exactly is taking this leave of absence from your job going to allow you to do now going into the general election season?
So far, the furthest I've been able to branch out is North Platte. On the weekends, drive out there, do a little mini swing and drive back here and get up and go to work. So this is going to allow me to get to Scotts Bluffs and Valentine, all the way throughout Nebraska, and go and continue to talk to people and recruit people to be on my policy teams, because that's what's really important about being independent for me is and it's been amazing in the fact that whether it's education, for example, I want to talk to rural educators, I want to talk to inner cities, special education, university professors, and create a team of people that tells me what they want. Not a party telling me what I think they should be doing. So that's what's unique about this grassroots campaign, and that's what I've enjoyed about it the most.
Obviously, you talked a little about breaking the $1 million mark in fundraising. How part of that was part of your allure was that, at least for some donors, that you were going to be tied or at least supported by some other parties. Do you think you can continue the fundraising momentum without support from any major party?
Absolutely. Again, I think it's our core message, and people are frustrated right now, and people are hurting, and I'm one of them. In the last 12 months, I've made $48,000, and I paid a lot into taxes, and my dollar doesn't stretch near as far as it used to. And it's really starting to make people pay attention when their money doesn't go as far at the grocery store and at the gas pump, and that's certainly part of the things that I want to change when I get to the United States Senate.
With the new FEC rule that allows you to take campaign contributions and use them for your salary, you uncomfortable at all with that?
Absolutely, I am. Yeah, but I want to be forthcoming and transparent with anybody who donates to my campaign. And the bulk of our money has come from small dollar donors. I think it's an average of $38. But what I would like to tell them if they watch this is that that's part of my path to victory, is being able to have the time to go out and talk to greater Nebraska.
And what's the uncomfortable part for you?
Well, the uncomfortable part is I suppose as long as people donating to me understand that part of the money is, and I want to be clear too, I'm only replenishing my current wages and health care for my family. I'm not taking anything above and beyond that. So, I suppose it's uncomfortable in the fact that I've never been rich, don't plan on ever being rich, and when people donate a good sizable chunk of change to this campaign, it's very humbling for me.
I don't know what your job situation is. When the campaign ends, you don't win, you get your job back.
I'm on an approved leave of absence, yep. And then it will damage me in the fact that the apprenticeship program that I'm in right now, I'll lose a year and I'll have to start over with that year, so that affects my wage progressions. So yep, it'll hurt me a bit if I lose.
Now that we're beyond the primary election, what's the contrast you want to draw with Deb?
Well, I want to draw first that I'm a veteran. I was willing, when I signed up, I was willing to make that ultimate sacrifice for this country. I love this country, but ultimately, we're going to differentiate on the border. Our messages will be the same, but Deb Fischer's had 12 years to do something about the border. She voted against the border bill that was drafted by Republicans, and it was a bipartisan bill because I believe they want to run off that issue. And I don't think she has any interest in having a closed border because she takes money from big ag, and they benefit from exploiting labor that comes up through the border every day.
Do you want a debate? Do you expect a debate? And have you sought a debate?
Yes, and I don't know. But yeah, absolutely. I think the people deserve to have both of the people that are running for office explain themselves why they're running and what they want to do and what their vision for the state of Nebraska and the country is.
What message do you want to resonate with voters?
Well, again, our Congress, Senate in particular, is a complete misrepresentation of the people. It's millionaires and billionaires, business execs, and lawyers. There's, I think maybe with the exception of one, that comes from the working class. So I want to be that voice for the working class.
Has there been one major surprise for you in launching a political campaign of this sort?
No, nothing definitive.
Is there anyone in Congress right now that serves as a model for you?
No, there isn't. I just want to be myself, you know. And I mean, certainly I pay attention, and but ultimately, I have an independent spirit. I think the people of Nebraska have that same independent spirit. I mean, we see it with our unicameral, and I want to continue that on into Washington.
If elected as an independent, you would have the choice, I guess, to who you wanted to caucus with, Democrats or Republicans.
Well, you know, a lot of that is I'd like to see how everything's going to be set up. First, who's going to be president, how the Senate's going to be set up. And I mean, I fully plan on being a true independent.
Who are you voting for president?
Well, I haven't really decided yet. I don't think either of them earned my vote at this point in time.
When do you think you'll make that decision?
Well, it could be when I'm driving to the polls.
You don't think the voters should know before that who you're voting for president?
Well, I don't really understand why it's so important that people want to know who I'm running for president or voting for president, because I'm focused on this campaign and I'm focused on getting into the United States Senate. And look, there's a good possibility that the Senate could be split close to 50-50, and I could be the swing vote. And I wouldn't take that lightly, and that would definitely force people to want to work with me.
Do you not want to say who you might vote for president because you alienate the other half?
Yeah, no, not at all. I just, you know, it's a tough decision, and I kind of feel like most people feel in the fact that when I go out and talk to people are frustrated really with the two choices that we do have, and I feel the same sentiment.
Are you really undecided? Because a lot of people have said there can't be very many people undecided about this race. Are you really undecided about who you're voting for president?
Yeah. Why is that hard to believe? There's, you know, polling shows there's always at least 15% undecided. I fall into that same category.
Do you have any thoughts on some of the drama that has persisted around endorsements in the state, particularly with the Nebraska GOP not endorsing any congressional incumbents?
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show, you know, the party politics right now are struggling. They neither side can really seem to get aligned, and you know, again, that's resonates people's frustration.
I hate to go back over this road again, but would you prefer a third candidate, someone else besides Trump or besides Biden?
Yes. His name is Gary Osborn, and he's my dad. And he was a county commissioner in Dodge County in Fremont. I think he'd do a great job.
How does your family feel about this venture into politics?
Well, I asked my youngest daughter how she felt about it, and before I even decided to, and she didn't really have an opinion either way. You know, they're both teenagers. My oldest is living in Hollywood. She's a professional dancer, but she thinks it's pretty cool. My youngest two just aren't really interested, and my wife can probably answer that question for you better than I can. You had a question?
Yeah, so this sort of race especially between you and Fisher, it's been getting a lot of press with like places even like the New York Times taking attention and writing stories about it. Does that place a lot of pressure or stress on you?
No, I like it. Anytime my name gets mentioned with Deb Fisher's or any big publication, it doesn't add stress. Look, I did the same thing when I led the strike here in Omaha against Kellogg's, talking to press, and I understand the value of what you guys do, and I can understand also that it could be detrimental, but I'll talk to anybody, anytime, about this race, and I look forward to, again, getting out into greater Nebraska and talking with the real people, the working people of Nebraska, because that's who I want to represent. All right.
You want to mention where you're headed the rest of the week, and maybe if you've got everything, where you headed?
Valentine?
Yeah.
Yep, heading out to Valentine, going to swing through Hastings. What else am I missing? Oh no, O'Neill.
Why Valentine? I saw some results yesterday in the GOP primary. I think I know, so why are you going to Valentine?
Well, the people of Valentine deserve to hear from me just like the people of O'Neill or Hastings.
I guess I mean, in the GOP results, Cherry County was one of the places Deb didn't do quite as well.
Oh.
It's where she started.
Yeah, and I don't know Deb Fisher personally. I don't even know if she has kids. I really don't care about that. I've heard some rumors that she's not the greatest neighbor, and people around there aren't big fans. But I don't really pay attention to that. I want to go. And I want to give those people my message.
All right. Did we get what they needed? Thanks.